Haha, okay, I'm back from lunch an hour later. Like I said, it wasn't going to take. I always end up checking email or responding to comments, and it takes an hour or so before I'm back here at work. So here's the next thing that I want to do. If you remember in a previous video, Jeremy and I were trying to get this thing out, and it's still stuck. So he suggested that maybe I build some sort of a puller that will actually grip onto this thing, and then I can have a bolt in the center that turns it, or that pulls it out. So I'm going to start working on that. There's not a lot to grip onto though. It's only about an 1/8 inch wider than the stub shaft that it's on, so that'll be fun. Let's see what I can come up with. Alright, here's my first plan of attack. I noticed that a piece of my tubing fits right over that perfectly. So if I cut that in half and weld some pieces of angle on there or something, I can make like a clamshell puller that will go around to the back of this. Now the problem is there's only about an 1/8 of an inch or so between this and the next washer or whatever it is back there. So this has to be super thin, and I don't know if that'll hold up to the pressures that I need to put on it to pull that sucker off. So we'll see if that works. If not, I was thinking last ditch effort, I could put a longer piece of tube on there and weld it all the way around to the outside and then make a puller out of that. But if it doesn't come off at that point, then I'm really screwed. So I'm going to try this first. One of my gloves snuck away. The next part's a little trickier. I need to weld a plate across here and find a bolt that's long enough, that has long enough threads that'll push it all the way out. This one is not. The only thing I can find is this thing. I think I'll try to take the bolt out of here and see if I can find a nut to go on it. Then I'll weld a plate across here, weld that nut there, and then this will be the driver that pulls this out, and I'll cut the other side of that. Okay, so that plan didn't work as usual. I couldn't find any nut to match the thread that came out of this, and none of the bolts that I have are long enough. So what I had to do is cut this down shorter, and I don't think it'll pull it all the way off, but at least it'll get it halfway. Maybe. Anyway. I also didn't think this through very well. If I weld this on right now, then it won't be able to slip over, because it's not like this. I probably should have made it like this, where it just had 2 teeth. But being like this, one side has to come off. So I'm going to cut this in half here. I'll put it on the piece that I need to remove, and then I'll weld it here and try and turn it off. If it doesn't work, at least I can just cut these right here and it'll fall apart and come off of there. Okay, this didn't quite turn out the way I had wanted it to. It's not very pretty, but I was able to get it on there. So let's see what happens whenever I put the gun to it. It's turning. I think it slipped off of that side. Should I keep going or should I try to put it back? I don't think there's any way to squeeze it back together. I think it separated. Let's keep going. So that just ripped my homemade tool apart. So, I was looking at some of the other pullers that I have. This one won't fit in here. I could modify it. Or I've got this Pitman arm puller I could modify. I've already modified it once. What sucks is I had two of these and I gave the other one away recently, so they're cheap though, so maybe I'll try to modify this one. It's just too big. It's just too big to get in there. I think I'll have to modify this one. I'll cut a little off until it'll fit over that. Let's try that. Okay, I modified this to fit inside there. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work either. The teeth on those jaws are pretty thin. Alright, I modified these jaws to fit inside there. I've got it clamped down. It's ready to pull, but before I do that, I don't know if this is gonna work. Those are really thin teeth on there. They'll probably bend out before it actually pulls this off. So what I'm going to do is try to heat this up. When you heat something, it expands, right? So if you can heat this outside piece more than the inside piece, it should open up and allow it to come off a lot easier. It was coming too. What happened? Slipped off a little bit. Try it again. That bottom jaw is slipping off. Alright, so it wanted to come off. I'm going to get this thing glowing red this time. Oh. Can't seem to catch a break. This thing keeps, one finger keeps slipping off every time. I'm not sure if it's the same one or not. It seems to be. It's probably that one that's bent. That sucker is rusted on there good. Warm up in there. Okay, come on. get this thing off.
Man, I'm so damn excited about manana. Going to pick it, son.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna get freaking rowdy. I can't wait.
You're gonna get rowdy, huh?
Hell yeah.
I forgot you were going to pick it.
Huh?
You taking your Jeep?
Nah.
Whoa.
Ain't got much left. Got like a thread and a half on the puller. All right, you want the victory kick? I get it. Easy peasy. You did all the work, bro. It's off. Why was it on there?
Why was it on there?
Like, why was it on there that bad?
I don't know.
That's still insane.
It didn't want to come off. It's had a lot of rust, I guess.
What the heck? I've never seen anything like that. Remember, folks, do your trail maintenance. Always do your trail maintenance. Or I call it trail maintenance. What is it? Trail, what do you do? Maintenance?
Regular
Preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance.